Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a beer, it's time for some Path of Exile discussion. Today, GGG gave us some information on exactly how the Trial Master spawns in maps, what conditions are required in order to spawn him, and I thought I would go and min-max that and come up with a strategy to optimize your chance of encountering this boss. So the Trial Master boss is important for a number of the various challenges that are available in the league, some of which can take a few tries to get to. And he's something that has been a bit of an enigma for people to try and work out how he was spawning, because if you have a look at the Path of Exile subreddit, you'll see endless complaints from people saying, I've run 500 maps, I haven't seen the Trial Master, da-da-da-da-da, what's going on, what's going on? So we got the hard information on exactly how you spawn the Trial Master, and it's really simple. When you open a map that is tier 11, 12, or 13, you have a 1% chance that the Trial Master in that zone will offer you a full encounter, a full 10-wave ultimatum, with the 10th wave being a fight against him. On the flip side, if you're running a 14, 15, or 16 tier map, then you will have a 2% chance to encounter him. Now, 1 and 2% sound like very low numbers, and they sort of are, but for anyone that's capable of defeating the Trial Master, and in particular for defeating just like even wave 9 of an ultimatum, then you are going to have probably run several hundred maps already. And the fact that you'll be getting one encounter against the Trial Master roughly every 50 maps means that every 3 times you kill Cirrus, Awakener of Worlds, that typically takes 32 maps per Cirrus cycle. And so if you do all of your ultimatums, you'll average just under 2 fights against the Trial Master for every 3 fights against Cirrus that you encounter. So that is quite a number of fights against this boss, and will be more than enough in order to get this. The key reason, though, that people aren't experiencing this often is that the ultimatum encounters are genuinely difficult. Players are failing them a lot. I know I've been failing a lot of them. And you can fail them in 2 ways. You can fail them by dying, or you can fail them by simply giving up and surrendering. Or for that matter, you can fail them by accruing 7 stacks of ruin or a couple of other ways. So this means that there's more chance to fail at encounter the longer that the encounter goes on as well. So if you, for instance, take Ruin level 3 as your 4th option in the ultimatum, if you are going to go all the way to the fight against the ultimatum boss, then you're going to need to do 6 rounds without making more than 4 mistakes. Without making more than 3 mistakes to the Ruin monsters. So there's a lot of ways that you can mess things up. The other thing that's really important is that map mods severely amp up the difficulty of ultimatums. So, a map that has monsters have increased critical strike chance and critical strike intensity, you are more likely to get stunned by taking an unlucky critical hit from a monster, and then while you're down, while you're stunned, getting killed by another one of the monsters there. Alternately, if a map has the fleet mod on it, which makes monsters faster, then the Ruin Spectres go from being pretty trivial to being very, very, very significant opponents. And so the very simple strategy that I want to suggest is crafting your maps in a way that people don't usually do. Take your tier 14 maps and identify them if needed, then just hit them with a Scouring Orb. This is a pretty anticlimactic way to run maps, but it certainly is something that will work for getting more Trial Master encounters. At the time that I'm recording this video, and I do hope this gets patched, there is no advantage to having map mods as far as encountering the Trial Master goes. You are more likely to succeed at an ultimatum if there are no map mods in play, and you will also have more safety while you're doing the actual fight against the Trial Master. The Trial Master's conditional effects are going to be easier when you don't have any sorts of effects kicking in that cause the Trial Master to be faster or more able to hit you. So for that reason, tier 14 maps are the way to go. Scour them, do the ultimatums, push through no matter what mods you get. Because the map is scoured, you're probably going to be able to do that. And then eventually you will get to fight the Trial Master. You'll get to fight him a lot. As for my thoughts on this mechanic, I don't like scour and go metas. I don't like environments where scoured maps feel like a smart way to run them. And I do think that GGG should change it so that instead of having a 2% chance to spawn, regardless of the number of map mods that are present, it should be a 1% chance to spawn with an additional 0.25% per mod on the map. So for an Elk map, that would slightly increase the chance of spawning him. For an Elk and Vald map, it would considerably increase the chance of spawning him. And for a map that is scoured, it would severely decrease the chance of spawning him. However, that's my thoughts. That's not the way the game is at the moment. The game is at the moment in a situation where it is just flat out optimal to run your scoured maps if you want to prioritize getting to fight the Trial Master as quickly as possible. Anyway, that's all I got on this. If you got any comments or questions, fire away below. But do be aware that a lot of the outrage on Reddit is coming from people about the Trial Master being ultra rare, is coming from people that are just wrong about the number of maps they've done. Someone put up a really highly upvoted thread saying, I've done 600 tier 14 plus maps, I've done all the ultimatums in them, and I've not encountered the Trial Master once. And someone else, not me, looked into that player's profile account and saw that there's a very convenient little challenge that tells you how many maps you've run over the league, how many maps you've completed, and this player had completed 405. So that meant that actually they had not done 600 maps, tier 14 plus maps. They'd done a lot less. I don't think this player was lying. I think what's happened is that players overestimate how fast they're clearing maps because they're so used to how powerful their character got at the end of Ritual League. They're thinking, oh yeah, of course I'm a 30 map an hour player. That's the speed I was clearing maps at the end of Ritual. But then they don't realize that actually by the time they're doing an ultimatum start to finish, on on a league start character, they may only be doing 7 maps an hour, and that's fine. Your speed will increase over a league, and then towards the end of the league, you might well be back to doing 30 maps an hour or even more. But until that point, you're going to have an overestimate of the number of maps you've run, and that's going to cause you to feel that boss encounters are rarer than they actually are. I don't think that anyone that is going to be able to defeat this boss, the Trial Master, is not going to encounter them through dumb luck. This is not a situation like All, the Crystal King, which was just genuinely a very, very rare boss, and lots of people who were capable of beating him in Delve League just didn't encounter him. I think this is one of those bosses that's actually considerably more common than Ashabi was during the Harvest League. Anyway, that's all I got on this. Comments and questions below. Otherwise, I will see you around.